Student, you will join through the YouTube link. Students, a YouTube link must have been given by your class teachers. You will be joining through that YouTube link. Okay? Sharthok, this is, you're in which class, Sharthok?
I think they must be in class 6.
Yes, miss, because
Mm,
they are entering.
they're confused. So how did the link reach them?
Link, I think somebody shared it by
Ah,
mistake. That link
yes,
was
yes,
shared with
yes.
them.
Mm.
Students, you're supposed to enter through the YouTube link, not the Gmeet link. A very good afternoon to everyone present here and a warm welcome. I heartily welcome our guest and our chief speaker of the day, Dr. Bidita Bhattacharya. Thank you for joining us, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay. Thank you.
Once again, I welcome everyone in our session for the day. A very good afternoon and a warm welcome. In today's connected world, online media plays a very significant role. It is significant in establishing a connection among people in ways never before possible. Digital media also facilitates interaction across social, economical, cultural, political, and ideological boundaries, allowing for enhanced understanding. In order to enlighten us more on this area, we have with us Dr. Bidita Bhattacharya. Dr. Bidita Bhattacharya is an associate professor and consultant in clinical psychology with more than 18 years of experience in the field. She is serving in the Institute of Psychiatry, Kolkata, for more than 10 years in the Department of Clinical Psychology. She served as the head of the department for more than 6 years. She is associated with many national and international bodies operating in the field of mental health. She has also served the role of executive committee member of Eastern Zone of Indian Association of Clinical Psychologists, one of the most prominent and active bodies in the field of mental health. She is also the president of Indian Association of Clinical Psychologists, West Bengal branch. Dr. Bhattacharya has also been in academics and research field of clinical psychology since many years. She has many national and international publications. She's also a reviewer of prominent national journals. We take this opportunity, ma'am, to welcome you to this session. Over to you, ma'am. We are eagerly waiting to hear from you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you all once again that you have come here to for some discussion. So I think we'll be able to have a fair amount of idea after this discussion. And I request you to, if I can see some faces, because it is rewarding for me to interact if I can see few faces.
The students are all in the YouTube, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. um, Medium mode of discussion will be in English or Bengali or what?
Ma'am, English. Students
English.
will be asking the questions. I'll be forwarding the questions to you, and they are hearing you through the platform of YouTube
Okay.
because Gmeet, ma'am, it has limited capacity, and all
Mm-hmm.
our students cannot be accommodated here. So we
Mm-hmm.
are live streaming your session in YouTube, and our
Okay.
students are watching you live on YouTube.
Okay. Okay. So social media and our use of mobile and gadgets. So nowadays it is a huge, huge discussion point. Basically, it is required, very much required, and now it is due to this pandemic and lockdown. It has become inevitable and mandatory for all of us to be in digital mode, digital media, or all our academics, classes, etc., have become digital. So now this is a very relevant time and pertinent question, that how to manage ourselves, how to balance basically work and leisure, work and entertainment, basically that manage. And I think this is a good opportunity for the children who are now in their formative ages. They are we should look into this situation from a positive side. So while doing so, we can think that this is a good opportunity for students or children to understand how to balance their work as well as their entertainment nowadays. So before I go into the topic, I would like to say I would cover that how social media is impacting us, how social media is helping as well as harming us, both the sides, and how to control our use, how we can manage our work and our entertainment and other engagements. And it will be great if students can ask me questions, and it will be my pleasure to give them answers. So I'll not make my presentation, my talk lengthy, because giving answers to their questions are more important than my monotonous presentation. So just to brief overview about the topic, basically, social media addiction. I would not say addiction right now. I would say usage of social media or phone or gadget has increased a lot significantly. All over the world, it has increased around 47-48%. And in our country, in India, it has increased 87% in last 1 year. So it was initially it was huge. In between, the data was little less, but now again data is going up because of this lockdown and quarantine situation. So 75% of the people are, which is last December study, December 2020 study is saying 75% of the people are engaged in social media, different types of social media and different types of gadgets nowadays. So it is definitely it has got immense impact on us, positive as well as negative impact. Positive impact is we have become nowadays connected. We are able to interact even we are at home. We are able to be at par with our studies, academics, or any other official work activities, and things are distantly whatever things are distantly possible to conduct. It is being it is on, basically. It is not stopped. So that is the very positive side, that we are able to handle our this current unprecedented situation. Otherwise, if you can imagine the situation we are in when we are quarantined or we are isolated within our house and we do not have any means to interact with others or social interaction, or even for work also, how it would have been difficult. So from that perspective, it is really helpful and really good, really required and need of the hour, basically. But none of the thing is good beyond a point. Beyond, there should be some due usage, due importance of certain things. So beyond its relevance point, everything is harmful. Even life-saving medicines cannot be given overdose. um, good food cannot be given too much. So everything has got some limit, and everything has got some um, relevance. So if we cross the point of relevance, their problem comes. Basically, when we say this is a problematic usage, we need to use, yes, of course, we need to use it for our school, for our college or classes, or whatever means we are doing. We need to use it for our grocery shopping. We need to use it for our daily living activities, things. Yes, we need to use this. So when it becomes problematic, Anything problematic means when it loses its point of relevance. When it is required, you must go for it. Problematic usage is, we call, only then when it continue to have and engage people before, beyond its point of relevance, despite of knowing its harm or uselessness. We know it is useless while we are doing, using it excessively, but still we are not able to control ourselves, then it becomes problematic. Till the time we are able to manage or maintain within the realm of, normality, it is required, and good means of, communication, good means of, whatever we do, good means of, doing. We should use our technology, nowadays, because, this is a blessings of technology, so we need to use it. What it causes when we use it problematically, when we use it too much excessively, um, primarily it isolates ourselves from our world, from our, um, from our, family, from our friends. In a way, we are in, getting in touch with our friends, but those friends are not, real. Not, yes, they are real, but they are not in physical platform. They are in virtual platform. So person to person interaction we lose. We, excessive use of, this media or, gadgets or, video conferencing, etc., will cause that we later on we may find it difficult to talk to people face to face. So, nowadays we, in our friend circle, we say nowadays children are so much used to with this, video calling and online classes. So next, when things will be fine, or, this covid situation will be over, they would, not talk to us face to face. They would say, go for, video calling, we'll could talk to you then. Come over the camera and I'll talk to you. So, that actually that isolates us, from our, physical contact, physical communication, which is, of great need actually. We are human being, and physical contact, physical touch is very important. That is the, that is one consequence. The second consequence is, physical consequence, like we overexert our, excessive eye strain, overexert our, seating position. Basically, we do not have, have opportunity to walk around and, having, class, in, online kind of thing, and we are housebound, so mobility activity, becomes, it significantly reduce, while doing so. Apart from that, postures, etc., may be faulty most of the time, and that would cause, orthopedic, issues, orthopedic problems, and, many aches and pains, non-specific, specific aches and pains are common in complaints nowadays for children even. um, there are some cognitive consequences also. Cognitive means we, say, when it is in our brain level or thinking level, consequences, like, excessive use would cause lack of attention, lack of focus, and, lack of memory, that is actually secondary to lack of attention, because there are, the child, the whatever, even for adults it is applicable. They are, using gadgets or media, and, that gadgets and media can drag your attention, much more higher in rate than the physical world. So it is so interesting, it is so eye-catching, it is so these platforms are so engaging basically. So this this cannot be created in physical world. So while giving attention to, when we are in physical world, we are interacting physically, or we are reading books, hard copy books, it becomes difficult to pay adequate attention. Like so if I'm not paying proper attention, I will not be able to remember our my study properly. So memory is getting impacted secondary to attention basically. So these are the cognitive consequences. Apart from that, environmental or social consequences, that is, I was talking initially that we lose connectivity, we are not interacting with people face to face, we become away from our family, interaction from our family, we are engaged always within the gadget or this activity or this functioning level. So that is the social and environmental consequence. And yes, of course, what I was saying, we find it difficult to pay attention when we are interacting physically. So this engaging and eye-catching media is and the presence of constant presence of this media is very another important part, that it is, you were never short of content, you are never short of videos, you are never short of news fed. So always there are overload of contents and overload of informations, overload of stimulation basically. So this excessive use of stimulation, our brain is not that prepared yet, because this change has had taken place within a very short period of time. But even if we consider this is mobile era and all, still our brain does not mutate or change so fast. So while uh, while brain is also in its process to change, to modify their its nervous system, its firing system, its neural transmission, etc., but it will take time. So our brain not yet equipped enough to handle so much of stimulation, so much of information, so much of eye-catching or entertaining things. So that is a great deal of struggle for all of us. Some people are finding it difficult to manage, some people are getting in it pretty easily, but it is a significant area to we need to focus on. Okay, so briefly saying how to control it, how we can manage our good things and bad things, how we can balance our good and bad things of science. Primarily, we need to decide what is required and how much it is required. Going again, I would repeat that going beyond the relevance point is always problematic. So when it is required, I'll go for it. When it is not required, I'll not go for it. Yes, of course, required from the perspective of work, required from the perspective of entertainment. Sorry. Entertainment also cannot be limitless. Work is also cannot be limitless. So entertainment as well as work, we need to decide how much it is required. We need to assign our work properly, uh, how much it is required and how long I am going to use it. So timing it and assigning its due importance, due time, it would help definitely. Secondly, many times it happens we out of our inquisitiveness or uh, curiousness, whatever, we tend to download lot of apps which may not work all the time and which is of no such use. Identify those apps and materials which you do not use, which can be used in some other ways, or one app can serve two or three purposes. That's better to go for one app rather than two different apps. So identify those apps or items what you do not use and get rid of them. Get rid of them, I wanted to say, just delete it, or get rid of them in really, in true sense, get rid of them. Third thing is switching off the notifications. Notifications, you can, every time it is something is happening outside your world and you are getting notified, it's not required. When you would like to see the notifications, you can access those notifications. Otherwise, those notifications should not disturb you. So switch off and get rid of this notification. Time and again you can check, you can cross check depending on your work, or depending on your free time and all. You will check, and then you will do accordingly whatever needs to be done. So get rid of the notifications and try to stick one or two apps, and which will serve your most of the purpose, most of the activities, most of the things. Now we need to remember, nowadays we have, nowadays problem is basically problem of plenty. So if we want to watch movie, previously it was one or two modalities to watch a movie. Now there are 1,000 modalities to watch a movie. So if I have a purpose to watch a movie, I will stick to one or two mode where I can watch movie. Whatever I can watch, it is fine. If I miss some movies, will not cause any harm. But if you don't miss such movies, it will cause harm in terms of your physical health, in terms of your mental health, in terms of your academics, in all aspects. You can afford to lose movies, one or two movies, which is not that much required. So stick to one or two modalities where you can seek your entertainment. Of course, entertainment is required, but without entertainment, only work will not, absolutely is not recommended, and that work will not be that productive or quality product also. So entertainment is required, but entertainments are basically to enhance your productivity, not to harm your productivity. So stick to one or two apps, to one or two platform, one or two modalities, and time your activities based on that. I wanted to say, you assign time for your study, you assign time for your play, you assign time for your entertainment, you assign time for your gadgets, you assign time for everything, and try to stick to that. I'm not saying study during your entertainment time, and at the same time, I would not say do not entertain yourself when you are studying. Study it in its own way, entertaining. Try to get into that. So overall view is this. I think I would, if I get some questions, it would help students, apart from saying one-sidedly.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for those information. It is not only benefiting our students, it is benefiting us also. So we do have quite a few questions for you, ma'am. Ma'am,
Okay.
first question that we have over here, that as parents and as teachers, when all our learning and teaching process has shifted online because of this pandemic situation, how can we bring about that balance? Because the continuous passage of information is happening from the teacher to the student. Even the work that they are doing it online. They are submitting everything to through online mode. So therefore, this transition that has happened, as you were saying, that a very severe transition in a very short period of time, and children have kind of adapted themselves and they are trying to, but this balance has been broken. The balance has completely been broken. So as parents, as teachers, And students, their same question they also have, that when the study mode is online, then how do we bring about that balance?
Yes, what I was saying, that giving time, assigning time for everything, like study mode, when it is a school time, school mode, if it can be done, that whatever submissions, etc., can will be done during the school time. When the school is over, school time is over, that time the students or children should have their own personal study time, self study time, not the upload, etc., those kind of work. If it can be done, like let's say for example, till 1 or 2 there are classes, till 1 or 2 afternoon there are classes, they can be given half an hour, 45 minutes extra for uploading things, but they will be done with by that time. Uploading or whatever submission, etc., will be done. So all students will be uploading their work, their submissions, etc., during that period of time. So that will help teachers as well to track, because teachers are also always looking into their devices, that when this what submission is coming, or who is submitting, who is doing. And similarly, if can be it can be arranged, like a particular time for queries, question answers, for teacher student interaction, etc. So one particular slot is being assigned for that. So work is done, like maybe school hours are 1 a.m., 1 p.m. afternoon, and then after 1 to 2, this time period is uploading, etc., and teacher student interaction time is there. This is I'm just giving an example. uh, if that can be done by 2, students will also come to know that my school is over, now I can go for my own recreational activities, or my self study, or my tuition, etc. And teacher will also have their own thing, that okay, my work is done, my school work is done by 2 p.m. So that would help.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, another question related to this, that how more detrimental can it be if the students after the school hours, if they are still associated in online mode and all, after the school hours are getting over, they are still continuing their learning through online mode or participating in other activities. How detrimental can that be?
It is. I mean, excessive use, it is detrimental, absolutely. But now, considering the current situation, current scenario, they need to stick to this mode for some time now, and maybe another 1 year or so. In that case, we recommend that okay, you cannot get rid of this online modality of your for your academics. You incorporate other activities which is non-online, physical activities throughout the day, rest of the day. So when you have to go for online classes or online tuition classes, so you cannot help it, now you have to go for it. So there is no other alternative right now. We don't see any alternative. But apart from that, your all activities, engagement should be physical mode. So within the home, you develop a hobby, new interests, and which would be in physical mode, not in digital mode.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Absolutely. Completely agree with what you just said. Because we have another question over here where one of our children is written that even if I play 15 minutes of online games, so can I do that? Is it possible? After online classes, online games, what are your views on online games?
Online games, actually, we strictly do not recommend to anyone, even for adults. So we strictly do not recommend that. Now, modalities have become less for children as well. So 15 minutes can be enough. Like this. it becomes 1 hour. So then it is detrimental, definitely. And physical online gaming actually reduces concentration and attention. As it is, they had to attend classes over online mode. It is not that way recommended to go for online games. Rather, we would say play some physical games instead of playing on chase over your soft mode, I mean digital mode. We would recommend playing chess in physical mode.
Yes, ma'am. We have another question related to this that apart from classes online, online games and all, because that is what children are engaged nowadays, mostly playing online games. Can you suggest any other ways of keeping themselves engaged?
Yes, yes. There are a lot of creative activities like drawing, painting, crafting work, um, uh, dancing, physical exercise, running, jumping, or doing any kind of play or sports activities within the home. I mean, I'm not saying going out, but whatever is place or accommodation is possible within the home, as much physical activities or is possible to conduct is good for children as well as for adults.
So that children, that is a wonderful take on it, and something that your teachers also continuously tell you: develop hobbies, inculcate hobbies, learn to do newer things, and try to keep yourself away from digital and these games as much as you can. Thank you so much, ma'am, for that piece of advice for all our students. Another
Even they
question
can
over
go for
here.
gardening, gardening activities. They can go for any kind of, they can help household activities, will be of great help, like now it's lockdown and quarantine phase is going on, so household help is less available. Children will learn how to help parents, how to take part in the family activities. All are lesson for life. I mean, that will enrich them rather than how much help parents would get. That is different question altogether, but that will help their own development.
Yes, ma'am. Another question is how to differentiate between important and unimportant messages that come as notification. Because as a result of this notification, as you were telling all of us, there's a big chance of getting distracted, and we do get distracted. So, if you can give us some guidelines how to differentiate.
Yes, this is actually what is important. Is it giving, is it important? Asking the question, or checking notifications in a particular time, not always, is the first thing. Second thing is, whenever I see 10 notifications, I need to see that I have notifications from 5 different places. So among those 5 places, what all are important places, what all are important to know right now, and what all are not so important and I can answer later on also. Things which can be answered later on can be seen later on. So screening like this, what is, how much important it is, asking that question to yourself would help you to understand what you need to see in it, what you need to attend right that moment. And of course, distraction, there is a very good point, very pertinent question, ma'am. You've asked basically, understanding what is important and getting distracted with many informations are very important when we study over internet, like chapter 1, but I find chapter 3 is more interesting, and instead of reading chapter 1 I can jump into the chapter 3, would not help me at any point of time. So now I have in hand, my work is to learn chapter 1. I would focus on chapter 1. Once I'm done with this, I will go for chapter 3. So that's for my own interest or own pleasure. So in case of digital content also, you would get lot of advertisement type of, or lot of pop-up relevant to that particular topic, but we adults also get confused at times. Should we click that, should we click this, uh, like this. So for children it is more children are more vulnerable to click those kind of unimportant, so-called unimportant event. So first we need to focus what I am seeking for, what is my right now work. Let me do my right now work, then I'll go for add-on informations.
Yes, Miss Ma'am, and something related to what you are telling us. We have another question that is kind of an extended bit of what you're saying. Is how can we stay self-motivated on an online platform? As you were explaining, how to stay self-motivated.
Yes, for that, once again, I would say the same thing, that timing is important. So while I'm studying on online digital content something, and I might think of surfing something else, some games, or some online shopping, or something, some other information, and that may be very lucrative at times. So children need to focus, like, I mean, need to decide, no, this is my study time, let me study. I will serve those things later on when I am done with my studies. Let's say I'm sitting for study at 7 p.m. at evening, and I have decided to study till 8. So in between, whatever distraction comes, those are all distractions. Whatever informations and whatever these kind of pop-ups come, all are distractions. So I will pay attention to that as my entertainment time or recreational time later on after 8 p.m. So postponing that for that particular period of time would help.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, another question that has come up is the peer pressure regarding this uh, being visible online, where we see that our friend is doing this, our friends are doing that, and that in turn creates a kind of pressure on us that we also have to be there. That also creates a kind of pressure in us that we also like, a term that has come up, that fear of missing out. So that is very strong in children nowadays. They want to be in all those platforms, they want to be visible, they want to know what is happening, and the peer pressure that is surrounding. So how to deal with that?
Yes. Again, here is whatever is required is required. People who are doing around you is not so important. Yes, of course, you need to know the information that what all people are doing, but everything you cannot do. Like children need to explain this by their family members, as well as I'm sure teachers are also explaining them the same thing or similar thing. Everything cannot be done. Your friend may have certain things, your ex friend may have certain things, your wife friend may have certain things, but you cannot have x and y everything. So while explaining them to it is not one or two times job, of course. They need to be explained it repeatedly, and they will constantly get distracted. Here actually I would suggest that if children and parents are talking to each other regarding this, what all making them distracted from their work or their study or whatever what peers are doing. If they share their views with their parents, and as well as parents are making them understand, explaining this, so will help definitely. And will encourage, definitely encourage the interaction and communication between children and parents.
So we parents, teachers, all of us have to have an active participation in this aspect.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes, and Sankalan, yes, Sankalan, ma'am just answered this question a while back, what you were asking regarding how to keep yourself away from it because you are surrounded in online activities? The answer is to regulate, understand what is important, do the work that is important, and leave out the non important work. Filtering is required. Okay. So we have
Nicely,
another.
he's nodding his head.
Yes, ma'am. So, another thing is, ma'am, that keeping a tab on the usage. How to keep a tab on the internet usage.
Again, assigning and making a list what uh, they wanted to do or what is required, making a proper list, and do not exert that list. Too small list is not advisable, and too long list is again harmful. So making a realistic, achievable, doable list, and try to stick to that. And if sometimes it may go more or sometimes less, so on an average it should you should go hand in hand with your list and work list, basically, or activities list. So that would help you. And try to, whenever, again, you might get distracted. So whenever you get distracted with other things, other any kind of thoughts, or any kind of pop-ups, or any kind of information from any other sources, just avoid those informations or ignore those informations, or postpone those informations, that I'll look into it later on. So would help you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We have another question here in the chat box. Ankita Danda's parent. What is the most screen time that my child should spend? And as the parent has said that the child is not allowed to use the phone apart from the time when she's doing the classwork and the other study related things. So is her procedure acceptable?
Yes, yes, fine, absolutely fine. Uh, Time of exposure to screen time, it's now cannot be said, because the studies which were we used to quote, and we used to suggest before pandemic, that 45 minutes to 1 hour in 24 hours screen time exposure. So now it is not possible at any point of time. So already you think there is screen time is too much for children. So as minimum as possible to make them exposed to the screen apart from it is required, is that is important actually. We say 45 minutes, 45 minutes twice daily you can expose. So now that is not possible. School time is pretty huge, as well as tuition time, as well as their projects, etc., their other submissions, studies, searches, all will be there. So now we cannot stick to that guideline. But yes, try to make it whenever it is not required, they should not get exposed to the screen.
Yes, ma'am. So today, final question for the day. This is from Shomojit Basu's parent. He's saying that his child is addicted to online games, and because he's locked up in the house, there's a lot of pent-up frustrations and everything. So he wants some suggestion how to deal about this, how to deal with this frustration. I think this is
Yes,
common to all.
very, very common and very pertinent question, actually, because it is now this addiction has increased a lot. Like not only for children, but for adults, elderly even are getting addicted to the online games and online modality of keeping them entertained. So as I was saying, definitely developing different hobbies, or developing different activities, engaging the child in different activities, physical activities also, I mean, would help. Physical activities are very important to get engaged. So their all their frustrations, and they're locked up, or that children are having a lot of energy within. So their energy needs to be ventilated. So they right now they are not going out, they are not mixing with anybody outside, or they are not going for play, for that matter, outside. So their energies are there already. So we need to think how to burn those extra energies, or how to ventilate those extra energies. Try to engage them, take the child with you, talk to them, engage the child in household activities, spend some time with the child for some board games or some other creative activities. I mean, parents need to spend time with the child, apart from keeping them engaged in some interactive games, interactive activities, which is in physical in mode, not in online. But online gaming is a significant problem nowadays, huge problem.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And to all our dear parents and students, all of you who have logged in, you've understood one thing, that apart from your curriculum, which is your studies, in order to maintain a healthy life even during this pandemic, we have to maintain a balance between curricular and co-curricular activities. So participate in all the activities that the school is trying to provide you with, and build up your own hobbies. I hope you take this advice as ma'am has given us, and work on developing yourself and newer hobbies. Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an enriching session. Not just as students, we as teachers, we are also facing similar troubles. We can also understand situations and regulate ourselves also. Thank you so much, ma'am. And
Very
I
nice
would
experience, actually, such engaging audience and such a participating audience. Very nice.
thank
My
you so
pleasure.
much, ma'am. And I would like to call on our headmistress, ma'am, Mrs. Otri Mitra, to come forward to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Anmesha Miss. Once again, on behalf of the entire staff, teaching, non-teaching, and the students and the parents of St. Augustine Day School, Barakpur, I extend my heartiest thanks to Dr. Bidita Bhattacharya. Ma'am, it was just a wonderful session. It was very informative and enriching, and I hope our students as well as parents who are watching this session will benefit a lot from this, and the students will learn how to cautiously use the social media and turn out to be responsible citizens of our country. Ma'am, I'm hopeful that in this situation you could take out some time from your busy schedule and conduct this session. I'm hopeful that in future also, if we request you to come forward and conduct a few more sessions, you will be available.
Oh,
Thank
sure,
you,
sure.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So thank you, ma'am, and to enlighten our students today. And thank you, ma'am, once again from the core of my heart and from our entire team. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much, ma'am.
Principal Ma'am. Thank you. Thank you
And
so
the
much.
headmistress.
Okay. And Headmistress Ma'am, thank you so much. I'm sure I'll be available whenever you need, for students, for school, for teachers. No issues at all. You just let me know.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. We expect that also from you. Thank you so much for the session.
Most welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Okay,
much,
Anmesha,
Otri,
miss.
ma'am. Yes,
Yes,
thank
thank
you so
you.
much, ma'am, for delivering the vote of thanks. With that, we come to the end of today's very informative and very engaging session. Thank you, dear parents. Thank you, our guest speaker, Dr. Vidita Bhattacharya. Thank you, all our teachers and dear parents and students for joining us. All of you can now log off from the platform.
Thank you, teachers. Bye bye.
Thank you, teachers.
Thank you, teachers. Bye bye, teachers.
Thank you,
Thank
teachers.
you,
Bye,
teachers.
teachers.
Bye.